Thank you, Mr. President. There's two provisions in this bill that I'm pretty proud of amongst everything in it. And one is current law allows our principals to decide who can and can't carry firearms into our school facilities. And I've got a letter in front of me from the Minnesota Elementary School Principals Association and from the Minnesota Association of Secondary School Principals that both are saying, please take this responsibility away from us. I don't know the last time the principals asked us to take something off their plate, so to speak. The other provision in the bill that I'm proud of is firearms must be kept safe and secure and out of sight when they're in a car. And those ideas came from a student in one of our schools. I was just telling somebody behind me that for 10 years I've been this conversation, this discussion. I feel like I get kicked in the stomach every single time. Ronald Reagan talked about mourning in America, and I think for decades now, how can we have mourning in America when almost weekly we're mourning in America over another child being taken senselessly in firearms and gun violence? As many of you already know and have already said on the floor, the number one cause of death. The number one cause of death in this great and wonderful country for our young people is firearms. And, secondhand smoke killed people, and we saw fit. And tamper-resistant lids on our Tylenol, and we saw fit. And seat belts, we saw fit. And switchblades, for God's sake. We banned switchblades almost over 60 years ago because they were not safe. And yet, every day, here we sit. Once a year, I feel like I give this speech on the floor. But one thing I've never shared with you is about 6 years ago, right where that cameraman is, a former student was standing up there. And he was trying to get my attention, and finally he got it, and I look up at him and I wave, and he waves back, and he meets me out this door after we adjourned. And we chatted briefly, and we said, we had both agreed, let's have coffee someday. Let's get together. And one day, sitting in this very chamber, I got a text from a colleague of mine that said he bought a gun and he took his life. And I don't remember which text, if it was before or after that text, but on that very same day, I got a text telling us there was another mass shooting today in a place I'd never heard of called Parkland. In one day, I saw firsthand the firearm damage being done to our youth. Again, we should be coming home from war and battle with post-traumatic stress and not coming home from school with post-traumatic stress. Our children shouldn't have that easy access to firearms so that when they're having a bad day, whatever that might be from, that they can make that instantaneous decision to end this wonderful experience we all call life. FDR, in the 1930s, at the height of all the hellacious things happening on the planet Earth and all the isms that were driving us all down, he said that the purpose of democracy, or republic, whatever you want to call us, was to guarantee 4 basic freedoms. And among those freedoms were freedom of speech, and freedom of worship, and freedom from want, and lastly, freedom from fear. Freedom from fear. Our kids are hurting. And I don't want this session to end where when we go door knocking and our constituents look up at us and go, hey, what did you do this year to keep my son safe at school? Or what did you do this year to keep my cousin safe from his suicidal ideations? I don't want to have to look at them in the eyes and go, we tried, we just couldn't do it. Our kids are losing confidence in us. They're in disbelief. They're discontented. They're in doubt over us not being able to do anything. For too many of us, our young children, this thing I used to love teaching, the American dream. The American dream. This is an amazing country where we get to dream about our future. For far too many of our young people, the American dream has become a national nightmare. I don't know what you think, how this is going to play out during this semi-quincentennial. 250 years from now, will they look at this period as a period where we all got together and we were awakened by an issue that we could all be bipartisan and sit on the same side of the fence and all agree that our children's lives are precious? Or will 250 years from now, they'll look at this period and just go, it was a time of discontent. It was one of those times that try men's souls. I don't know. All I know is I hope this session we finally do one thing, so that when we go door knocking and that constituent looks at us and says, what'd you do this session? Hopefully we'll be able to answer, we did this. Thank you, Mr. President.